I'm destroying my body. I'm destroying my well-being, sometimes even my social life, my relationships, my brain, my intelligence. So I'm not going to slow down my words, because here we are to bring true help for people.
Yeah.
And truth, even though people also invertedly reject the truth.
Which we talked about last week.
Yeah, and in the beginning of the program, that guy which was willing to hide from what I was saying, addressing.
Yeah.
So this inner inverted will is directed to destruction, to sometimes even to evil, to perverted kind of actions and desires. And this is absolutely important to see. So not only for Dennis, but for all of us who are always procrastinating something good, we must admit and acknowledge as much as possible that we really don't want to do that.
Yeah, we have this desire to not do what it is that we know we need to do.
Exactly.
This is the thing that was so surprising to me when I first came here, Claudia, and I was doing psychoanalysis with you, and I can remember those things that I was talking about, and you were helping me to see that my intention was actually quite different from what I thought my intention was, because all of us think naturally, we have good intentions. I want to be happy. I want to be successful. I want to have a good career, a good relationship. But I didn't manage to do that in areas of my life. And you were helping me to see it's because there's another hidden intention linked to this inverted will that we don't understand very well, that needs to be treated. We need to go directly into that, wow, I don't want to be successful or to save my money. This is a thing that I think is really important to try to help people understand.
It is as if you would have another Richard inside of you that is your enemy and you don't know him well.
Right.
So you need to know him in order to neutralize this inverted will.
Yeah.
So in reality, you are just one Richard, but there is this other desire or this other wish, which is against who you really are. And if we don't acknowledge this, will happen things like this other person who spoke to you about success.
Yep.
He doesn't understand what happens. When he starts getting successful, he stops. So in this situation, he says, I wonder what happens. And he starts, would you read that?
Yes, I'm just looking for, okay, and one thing I did, so here's a letter I received from one of our podcast listeners from Australia, who said, one thing I did want to ask you in regards to rejection of growth or success. So he already has the idea that he's rejecting growth or success. He said, I find that if I'm striving for something, whether that be a professional goal or others, such as a sporting or social improvement, I have a getting ahead of myself complex, which means that after some initial progress has been made, my mind will wander to how talented I am in comparison to others, or how much of a success I'm destined to become. And then, of course, he just stops everything, thinking about how great I can relate to this one.
Yeah, all of us, this daydreaming kind of thing.
Yeah.
This daydreaming.
When I have this incredible success, then I'm going to be.
Yeah, so sometimes I even think I am already successful.
Right.
So this touches another area of our pathology, Richard, which is the narcissism and the megalomania, which leads us to delirious thoughts that we are the biggest, the best, the number one. Is there anything wrong in wanting to do something big? No, not at all. Is it something wrong with us if we want to be elegant and beautiful? Not at all. If we want to be rich? Not at all. But it is very important to pay attention to these delirious thoughts that we are already there, that we are already above everybody. This arrogant, narcissistic, or theomaniac. Theo is God. Mania, Is mania. So the mania of being the number one, the best, and the biggest.
I'm like God, right?
Yeah, so I'm already there. So why should I do anything to improve myself? So the best people, the geniuses, the best artists, they cannot be narcissistic, really narcissistic or theomaniac, having this megalomaniac kind of attitude. They must be very humble because they need always to see in what ways they are making mistakes or they are sabotaging themselves, so they will do even better each day. They will pay attention to their pathologies, to their mistakes, and they will keep their feet on reality.
There's a Canadian singer-songwriter named Neil Young, Claudia, that I mentioned here because I saw an interview with him maybe 6 months ago on an American television show, Charlie Rose, whom people listening to will know very well. And he talks about his ability to write as being a gift from the universe. And he says that when this call comes, when he feels this call to write, he will leave whatever he's doing to give honor to his gift. He said, because if I don't do that, what kind of respect am I having for this gift that I have to write? So he goes, he said it could be for 5 minutes, it could be for 5 hours, it could be for a couple of days, but he excuses himself from what he's doing, and he leaves and he gives space for this gift to manifest itself.
Now you are entering a place which deserves more information. Before that, I would like you to give the site of our Trilogy world or universe.
We have a great portal that's available, by the way, where all of the things linked to Dr. Keppe's expansive work are available.
Books are very important.
Yeah, Dr. Keppe's books, I tell you, I still remember reading his book, Liberation of the People, The Pathology of Power, on a train between New York and Toronto. And that book brought me here. 6 months later, I was here after reading that book. It was like a bomb in my head. So Keppe's books are very therapeutic, very provocative, and they provide a tremendous overview of what's going on inside the human being and our society. So all of that is available on our Trilogy portal site. Our Trilogy bookstore is there. You can order books. We have links to our Stop the Destruction of the World Association.
TV shows. Our podcast is there. So there's lots of resources available there. Let me give you the site for that. It's www.trilogia, Trilogia, trilogia.ws. And that's a very important website for you to know about. And next week we will start the book of the week. And we will comment on books.
Great.
So next week, Mr. Jones, I will comment on the book Glorification.
I better start preparing.
Yeah. I will make some comments on this book by Norberto Keppe, Glorification. And so our listeners will be able to make some connections and some links of what we are saying and what books they could read. And Beautiful. This is very interesting.
Yeah. So when I was talking about Neil Young, you said this might be interesting in pursuing more, how he gives space somehow to this gift to come to him. This is a humble attitude in some way. Right.
So this man lives and realizes what is this energetic resonance that creates everything, not only material beings, but also all the transcendental, psychological, social elements in life. So if we understand this process of resonance, we will be able to understand all the universe and how to get more energy and more inspiration for our everyday life. Everything we are, if I'm here talking to you, Richard, it is because I'm taking energy from somewhere. And it's not from the food. Food is just a small part of my energy. I would have to eat tons of food in order to have all this energy to do what I do during my day.
Yeah.